You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. This is your game recaps and standing updates after the games played on Monday, March the 30th, 2020. AL East game between the Red Sox and the Orioles favored the Orioles. The Orioles won 6-2 and have now won 3 of their last 4 games played and are one of the top teams in the American League East after Monday. More AL East games. There's another one, Yankees and Rays. A high-scoring affair that simply had Jordan Montgomery winning and Ryan Yarbrough as the losing pitcher. The Yankees scored in the first, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Only 3 innings that they didn't score in their 13-7 win. Interleague matchup here between the Reds and the Blue Jays. The Reds beat the Blue Jays 6-2. Consistently scoring in this game. No crooked numbers, but simply scored more runs, especially late, than the Blue Jays did. Wade Miley, in his debut with the Reds, got the win on the mound. Justin Miller got the loss out of the bullpen, and Michael Lorenzen earned himself a save. One of our games of the day here on Major League Baseball's virtual network, White Sox and Indians in an AL Central game. The Indians were trailing early in this one. Or as a matter of fact, it was tied. The White Sox took the lead in the 8th, but then the Indians put up a 4-spot on the White Sox. Brad Hand got the save in the top of the 9th, and the White Sox fall now to 3-1 on the season, losing their first game of 2020. Our other game here on Major League Baseball's virtual network, Royals and Tigers. The Royals came into this game winless, but won after scoring 5 runs all consecutively in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings. Home runs were hit in this game by Jorge Soler and Ryan O'Hearn. Mike Montgomery got the win after striking out 8 Tiger batters. Moving to the AL West, the Houston Astros lose to the Oakland Athletics, who start this year off on a hot streak. The Athletics have now won 4 of their last 5 games, beating the Twins in the previous series they played in 3-1, and starting this series with the Astros with a win. Twins-Mariners, an American League game, not a divisional game, but nonetheless the Mariners get a win against the Twins, who have started this season out slow and fall now to last place in the American League Central with a 1-4 record. Now to the National League, a National League East game. The Hot Marlins beat the World Series defending champions, the Washington Nationals, 5-4 in regulation. The Marlins got their 5 runs all within 5 innings, while the Washington Nationals made a push for the lead late in the game. They could not score in the 9th, and Brandon Kintzler got the save for the Marlins. Another NL East game. The Phillies and the Mets played each other, and the Mets came out on top. This game went into extra innings, but a walk-off in the 11th gave the Mets a win against their NL Eastern League rivals. NL Central now, the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Chicago Cubs, and the Pirates have now won 3 of their last 4 games. Jose Quintana got hit with the loss. Keone Kela, second save of the season. Cardinals and Brewers, classic NL Central matchup, but the Brewers came out on top, winning 5-4. Andrew Miller gave up the lead late to the Brewers after the Cardinals tied it in the top of the 8th inning, and he got hit with the loss. Josh Hader now has 2 saves on the season. Giants 10, Diamondbacks 4. Derek Rodriguez gets hit with the loss. Derek Rodriguez got the win with the Giants. Zach Gallen gets hit with the loss. Very simply, the Giants are off the Diamondbacks 10-4 after putting up 3 spots throughout the game and scored 1 run in the 8th. More NL West play. The Los Angeles Dodgers and Jimmy Nelson's debut with the Dodgers. He gets the win and gets a lot of offensive support. Most notably, that 4-run 4th inning the Dodgers had that allowed them to win 10-2, and somehow Ross Stripling got the save for this game. And a National League game, not a divisional game, but the Padres played the Braves, and the Padres came out and won 3-0, blanking the Braves, who had previously put up several runs and got 3 wins against the Diamondbacks in a 4-game series they played prior to this one. Kirby Yates got his second save of the season. Now for the standings, we'll start in the American League East. The Toronto Blue Jays now 4-1 on the season after beating the Reds today and in first place in the AL East. The Baltimore Orioles beating the Yankees and the Red Sox now are 3-1 in the division and in second place, a half game back of the Blue Jays. New York Yankees, after beating the Rays today, have tied their win and loss totals, 2-2 on the season and 1.5 games back of the division lead. The Rays, losing a game today to the Yankees, now fall to 1-3, and the Red Sox, winless in 2020 at the bottom of the division, 0-5 to start out the year. To the American League Central, the Chicago White Sox lost their first game of the year tonight against the Indians, and that puts the Indians and White Sox tied for first place in the AL Central, and rather even records all around. The Detroit Tigers beat the Kansas City Royals. No, the Detroit Tigers lost to the Kansas City Royals. So these two are now tied for third place in the division. The Twins in last place after losing again. Only 1 win so far on the season, and that was in the 4-game series with the Athletics. Over to the American League West, the Oakland Athletics, hot start to the season, beat the Minnesota Twins 3 out of 4 games in that series and beat the Astros in Game 1 of their upcoming series. 4-1 now is their record. They're in first place. The Texas Rangers now 3-1. The Astros 3-2 in third place. The reigning AL West champions. Mariners 2-3, and the Angels, slow start to the year, 2.5 games back of the division with a 1-3 record. Wildcard standings still not prevalent, but the season continuing to shape itself out. Those are the top teams in the American League for you. Now to the National League, a tight race in the NL East. Marlins and Braves each with 3-2 records to start the year. Nationals and Mets each with 2-2 records, and the Phillies are in last place, 1 full game back of the division with 2-3 record. Tight race to begin the year over there. The NL Central, a 3-team tie for first place in the division. 3-1 records posted by the Pirates, Cardinals, and Brewers. The Cubs and Reds each with 1-3 records on the season are tied for last place. And in the NL West, the Padres got off to a hot start this year. Right now, the leaders in the National League West with a 4-1 record. Giants 3-1. Dodgers, reigning NL West champions, with a 2-2 record. And then the Rockies and Diamondbacks tied for last place with 1-4 records to begin the year. Again, wildcard standings not super prevalent yet. However, here's your standings for the wild card, and that also shows you where the top teams are in the National League right now. And that's been your game recaps and standing updates from Monday, March the 30th. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network.